It's been a long time since we've covered an episode of the Ruby Spears Mega Man series. I'd figure, since this is October at the time of this video's creation, that we'll jump back in with the episode Night of the Living Monster Bots. A truck is making a delivery to the British Museum in the middle of the night, an Egyptian sarcophagus. Given this episode's title, yeah, something's going to pop out. Sure enough, when the driver investigates strange noises coming from the sarcophagus, the mummy inside breaks out. The driver runs towards a nearby village, hoping the locals can save him from the mummy's curse. They don't believe him at first, until the mummy fires blasts from its arm cannon. If you couldn't tell by now, the mummy is a robot built by, you guessed it, Dr. Wily. His newest plan is to use a series of monster bots to terrorize towns, film them, and use these monster movies as blackmail material. If you don't pay me billions of dollars, this could happen to you! Proto Man thinks this is ridiculous, but Wily's committed to this project. He's even set up a lab that wouldn't look out of place from a certain monster film. Anyway, the British authorities call in our heroic quartet, who are not buying this mummy's curse nonsense. What does get their attention is a piece of titanium used in robotic construction, and conclude, yeah, Wily's definitely behind this. As they wait for a ride to Hampton Village, they see a mysterious hooded woman nearby, who nearly gets run over by Cutman and Gutsman. Mega Man saves her, and we learn who this is. A movie star named Evelyn Ray. They know who she is, and she knows who Mega Man is. Note the latter for later. She's on her way to Hampton Village to shoot a movie, and her ride hasn't shown up. What an odd coincidence that she's going to a village that our heroes are going to in order to film a movie. Dr. Light offers her a ride in their cab, but we're not done with the vehicular antics of Cutman and Gutsman. They attack the cab, and Mega Man deals with them by hooking their car thanks to a construction crane. Yet another coincidence. Cutman and Gutsman just happen to be there. Mega Man thinks it's because Wily's onto them, but the real reason, well, I'll save it for later. They arrive in the area at night, and Miss Ray heads into a nearby castle to meet with the director. I wonder who that is. Before our heroes can convince her not to go in alone, they spot a mob of angry villagers, led by the driver, going after the mummy bot. It goes as well as you expect until Mega Man intervenes. He knocks Mummy Bot into the water, and it appears that's that. Wily's not happy with this unexpected rewrite, so he sends another monster bot to deal with the heroes, Wolfbot. After a quick game of cat and mouse, Wolfbot's projectile claws strike near Dr. Light. Although a little dazed, Dr. Light seems to be fine. Lucky for him, huh? The fight between Mega Man and Wolfbot drives our hero into the water, where it turns out Mummy Bot's not quite done yet. Well, we need to tie up that loose end. Mega Man copies Mummy Bot's weapon, so he can shoot the nearby tree on top of it. I figured he straight up blasted the thing to bits. But yeah, somehow that finishes it off. Might have taken in some damage with the water earlier. Wolfbot gets away because it transforms into a regular looking robot, and Mega Man loses sight of it. Another brief confrontation with Cutman and Gutsman, who's the camera crew, allows our heroes to discover Wily's film plan and realize who's in danger. Yeah, if you haven't figured it out by now, Evelyn Ray is here to take part in Dr. Wily's film. In fact, that ride she was waiting for earlier, that was Cutman and Gutsman, and their own incompetence could have cost Wily their star. I should point out that Evelyn Ray is not evil, she's just a bit naive. For instance, the face-to-face meeting between these two. I admit, this boggles my mind. She acts like she hasn't heard of this guy beyond being a director. It's true some people aren't familiar with every famous or infamous person in the world. However, earlier she said she's familiar with Mega Man, calling him her favorite real-life hero. This means she would have watched and or read news of our Blue Bomber's heroics against Dr. Wily. And pictures of the Doctor, along with his name, would have popped up alongside Mega Man's on occasion. She would have recognized the villain almost immediately. Unless, of course, Wily's becoming a popular surname in-universe. I'm sorry, I just needed to get this off my chest right now. After Wily reveals his plan, Miss Ray realizes maybe she's made a mistake and refuses to be in his movie. Wily doesn't take no for an answer and orders Monsterbot number 3, Dracubot, yes, seriously, to hypnotize her. Mega Man and the others break into the castle, which has a secret passage. Is anyone surprised? Rush spots and goes after the non-transformed Wolfbot. He saw him transform earlier, and Dr. Light follows. This leaves Mega Man and Roll to deal with a transformed Evelyn. So it seems vampires in this continuity, or at least ones with robotic progenitors, can shoot lasers from their mouths. While they contain her, she's still a living being after all. Dracubot shows up and Mega Man gives chase. Roll checks in on Evelyn, who has transformed into a robotic vampire bat to escape. Okay. During this, Rush confronts the non-transformed robot with Dr. Light present. Mega Man, and later Roll, find them in time for the moon to reappear, transforming the robot back to wolf form. That's not the only problem. Remember when it shot its projectile claws at Dr. Light earlier? Yeah, that's when he got infected, and now he's become a werewolf. Mega Man takes care of Wolfbot, but Dr. Light, well, he grudgingly knocks him out thanks to a knight's helmet. Dracubot and Evelyn arrive and separate the group thanks to a booby trap. Roll and Rush are fine for the most part. It's just that Roll's arm doohickey is a bit busted right now. Mega Man, who's carrying Dr. Light, eventually gets away, after briefly encountering Gutsman and Cutman. In fact, it's Cutman's weapon that allows him to escape in the first place. Back at the village, Light, who's back to normal at the moment, is working on something that can help Mega Man get into Wily's secret lab and end his scheme. They'll have to hurry because Wily has one more surprise planned. Another encounter with Wolfbot has resulted in our hero becoming one himself. Well, that's it. It's over. The world's screwed. Even Wily's upset by this turn of events when Wolfbot brings our hero to the lab. But it was all a trip as Mega Man rips off his disguise. Wily then activates his greatest monster bot, Frankenbot. It's super tough and can fire blasts from its rotating forehead turrets. Mega Man tricks it into destroying Wolfbot and Dracubot, thus freeing Dr. Light and Evelyn from the monster's control. Frankenbot knocks Mega Man around, trashing the lab as a result. Wily then orders Frankenbot to carry Evelyn to London and begin attacking the city. Mega Man escapes the collapsing castle, along with Roll and Rush. She repaired her arm enough to break through their prison door. They show up to give Wily's movie a much-needed happy ending. Mega Man bends one of the Frankenbot's mini turrets so that when it fires, it destroys the robot. Wily and his Robo-Goons bail, and Roll and Rush become the replacement camera crew. We end this episode with everyone watching a screening of Night of the Monster Bot. Man, the editing of that film must have been a nightmare. This episode is an homage to classic horror B-movies. In fact, you could say that this is a B-movie episode. It has many cliches of horror films: angry villagers, castle with a laboratory, secret passages, and traps. Evelyn Ray, besides what I said earlier, serves as your typical damsel in distress, first as a slave to Dracubot, and later being carried away by Frankenbot. The monster bots present, of course, serve as homages to 4 big classic Universal monsters: Dracula, the Wolfman, the Mummy, and Frankenstein's monster. I guess Wily had no use for a Creature from the Black Lagoon bot or an Invisible Man bot. There are also no guest star robot masters, which is fine as the monster bots are the real focus. I would question how Dr. Light and Evelyn Ray would transform into a wolfman and vampire respectively. But again, it's going with that B-movie charm. Light tries to explain things saying that their hold is electromagnetic, but it has to be more if Evelyn can turn into a robot bat. Maybe some magic is involved? Wouldn't be the only time Wily mixed the supernatural with technology. And then there's this. Yeah, Cutman and Gutsman, besides providing mandatory action and cut-related puns, serve as the film crew for Wily's plan. I'm with Protoman on this one. It's a bit ridiculous. Wily's making a film for money, which is true for a lot of films, but using it more as blackmail material, Wily has done, and will do, far worse to threaten the world. Here, it's like if Ed Wood or Roger Corman had become supervillains. Luckily, Megaman and company arrived to do some executive meddling. The main setting for this episode, Hampton Village, actually exists. Kind of. For those who don't know, Hampton is a suburb in the Greater London area on the north bank of the River Thames, or Thames. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, I'm sorry. Anyway, this explains why our heroes took a cab there from London, and why Wily ordered Frankenbot to walk towards London. This version of Hampton appears to follow the old-time villages seen in, yes, horror movies, to keep with the episode's general theme. In the end, Night of the Living Monster Bots is enjoyable in a turn-off-your-brain kind of way. While that thought could apply to the majority of episodes, or anything I review, I feel it applies more here. There are fans of horror movies and B-movies for any number of reasons, and sometimes said fans pay tribute to these movies in various ways. Somehow, I feel like this is one of those tributes. The more I watch this episode, the more I feel like it has a certain charm, despite the flaws I mentioned earlier. I mean, how often do you see a hero from a video game franchise take on robotic versions of the classic Universal monsters?
Oh, this plot is getting more interesting by the minute.
Still seems more like a cheap B movie to me.